Hope. All right. What happens when experience sits across from ambition? When wisdom challenges the modern world? When legacy meets the future? Welcome to Perspective and Power. I'm Jocelyn Michelle.
And I'm Hayden. Together, we bridge generations through bold, honest conversations. We talk about what shaped us, what's changing us, and what empowers us.
Because power isn't just about control, it's about understanding. And understanding starts with perspective. This is Perspective and Power, where experience meets energy. Welcome back. So let me just refresh the last episode as she's making faces. I like that because we're going to talk about feelings. And I was going to try to get that in there before you were making those faces. So anyway, last episode we talked about being proactive and reactive in our in our the ways that we deal with crisis, the ways that we deal with feelings and emotions. And to just refresh, Hayden, what is your why?
My why is to help people find their voice and finally speak up.
As a teenager?
Yeah, teenager, teen, tween.
Okay. My why is because I work with so many women who have a survival mode. They're in survival mode after a disruption of life, like a divorce or a loss or a death. And so we start after that point with the survival mode, and finding their voice is a process that they go through as they become sovereign and have emotional regulation. So I am reactive. Hayden is proactive. Okay, so today we are going to talk about feelings. And before you make that face, Hayden, um, I know you weren't really going to make a face, but literally it's podcast about feelings and the differences between the generations, because I'm Generation X.
I'm Generation Alpha.
So we talk about real things, hard things, and not only do we talk about that, but we talk about the generational differences between the two, or between all of it. Okay, so when you name an emotion, give me an emotion.
Jealousy.
Ooh, jealousy. When you name an emotion, you reduce its power over you. So neuroscience actually backs this up. And it comes with what we talked about a little bit last time about the survival mode, the
Fight
um,
and flight.
fight and flight. Thank you. I'm glad you're listening. Props to Hayden. Okay. So um, so let's say you're jealousy. So it's like saying you're jealous out loud makes that jealousy smaller because you're getting it out of your mind and out into the world.
And not like the kind of jealousy where you're playing around with your friends and you're like, I'm so jealous of you. Not that type of stuff.
Okay, right. So what kind of jealousy are you talking about?
Uh, how do I put this? Like actual, like,
So, time. Can I jump in?
yeah.
Okay. So kids don't kids don't normally do this, but did you know that there's two feelings when it comes to jealousy? Jealousy is when you're afraid of losing something. So let's say that you have a boyfriend. You're too young for that. Don't even want you to think about that. But let's say you have a boyfriend and there's some girls talking to your boyfriend. That feeling that you would have would be jealousy. Does that make sense? So the other feeling is envy and being envious. And when we're envious of something, that means that we would really like to have something that somebody else has. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So in your boyfriend situation, you would feel jealousy. And the girl that's talking to him, if she really was into him and wanted him, would have envy because she would want him.
That was the other word I was thinking of was envy.
Envy. Okay.
Yeah.
So for folks at home and Hayden, now you've kind of learned a feelings lesson. There are 100 million feelings out there that we don't even we just tend to name a few of them. But so are you talking about jealousy or are you talking about envy?
Jealousy.
Okay. So, and you don't have to talk about what you're jealous of, okay? Unless you want to.
I'm not
Um,
jealous of anything.
well, then why did you name the feeling?
Actually, I might be. Wait, time out. Yeah, okay, I do.
Okay. So you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, because you never have to talk about anything on here you don't want to. We're just going to talk about the feeling. Okay. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Okay. So when you say you're feeling out loud and you name your feeling, it activates different parts of your brain. Um, so it like activates, I'm going to be pretty scientific right here. It activates your problem solving brain, which is your left brain. Um, and that part can think versus the part that just reacts, which is your right brain. So left brain versus right brain. So when you name that feeling, you keep your left brain going, and that's your problem solving brain. We want that to happen. Okay.
Okay.
So I would like to play a game. I'm going to name a situation, and you tell me what you actually feel, not what you think you're supposed to feel.
Okay, I got you.
Okay. All right. Um, your best friend cancels on you last minute for the third time in a row.
Ooh. I'd probably be a little angry. Probably not even a little, because if you've had plans for a while and then they bail, I'd
Okay.
yeah, I'd be angry.
Okay. So like a lot angry or a little angry?
Depends on the situation.
Well, that is the situation.
No, I mean, like, if they give out a reason why they bailed.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you said angry. You just named three distinct emotions in about 6 seconds.
What?
Yeah.
Really ang-
Most adults can't do that until they learn. Okay.
Mm,
Um, I'll get back to that in a minute. So you mentioned angry.
yes.
Uh, is angry hurt?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Um, and then would there be, is angry kind of worried or anxious?
Yeah.
Okay. So three emotions in 6 seconds with one word, angry. It's kind of fascinating, isn't it? I know. I know. Okay. So when adults don't do that either. Okay. They just call all of that fine. And fine is not a feeling. Fine is a wall. So Hayden asked me after I just got off the phone with somebody and I slammed my phone down on the table. Ask me,
Uh,
what would you
uh,
ask me?
I'd probably like, what's wrong? What happened?
Uh, I'm fine. No big deal. I'm fine.
No, tell me.
Nope, I'm just fine. So let's get back to what we were doing. So does my body language look like I'm fine? No. Does my tone look like I'm fine? No.
No. So
No.
that's why my friends can tell when I'm angry.
Yes, you don't play poker well.
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
get that a lot.
Okay. So um so when women when when women I work with after divorce, um what feelings they the feelings that they usually have names for. Grief shows up as numbness. So have you ever felt numb or frozen?
Yes.
Yes. You've had to do a lot of grief in your life, haven't you? You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. Just,
Yes, I have.
yeah, you have. Um, and so grief shows up as numbness. Anger hides the overfunctioning in adults. Fear that presents as control. And surface feeling is never the whole story. So fine is covering up grief, anger, fear, needing control with just one word as fine. So I'm just going to throw in here. I don't know. I think this episode will drop next week. Um, I am having a master class on from fine to done, the master class. And so what that means is from everything's fine and covering up all that survival stuff and letting it grow and grow and grow and grow and grow until somebody just explodes and they're in that fight or flight mode all the time. Um, I am showing it's a 4 hour master class. It's a free master class. Um, but this is what I'm going to be talking about how I went from survival mode to, I'm going to call it sovereign, which means good and solid and done and knowing where you're coming from. And so be looking for that if you would like I'll, when we get our link in, I'll drop a link in the
Description.
comments in the description. Thank you, Hayden. I don't do YouTube very well, so Hayden helps me with my social media. Um, so yeah, I'll drop the comment or
The link in the
link in
description.
the description, and we will go we will go deep into this, and you will have it. You will be all over this stuff. And so then we really can go from reactive to proactive as adults. Um, so one of the things that we haven't talked about, well, we haven't talked about, let's talk about grief for a minute. And this is completely ad lib. So, um, and not talking about what our grief is, Hayden, but how does your generation, I'm going to put my feet up because I'm going to get comfy. How does your generation, um, how are they supposed to deal with grief?
Uh, I really don't know because a lot of people handle grief differently.
Absolutely. Grief is extremely, um,
It's like a flower. Not everyone is the exact same.
I like that. I like that comparison. You are exactly correct. The other thing is that we do not do grief well. As a society, we just don't understand grief. We don't understand death. Some people will, this is going to be controversial, and some people would disagree with me. Um, Sorry, that's my dog wanting out. Some people would disagree with me, but we just don't handle death. We don't know because we feel so bad and it's such a big emotion. And so there are a lot of grief myths out there, and that might be actually a whole nother episode because we could talk about that forever. But um, that might be one of the reasons, Hayden, why you don't know exactly how to grieve because we just aren't told. My generation, and older, my mom's generation, um, they didn't acknowledge it. They would just do the what you needed to do, um, do the funeral, do the viewing, do the funeral, and pick up and go on with your life, and wouldn't even acknowledge that someone died. Um, my generation acknowledges it, but we're still told by kind of rules and societal norms. How many days, Hayden, do you think that somebody gets off work for a death? So,
Uh,
so if Grandpa Dan had to go because he works in a facility. Sorry, I didn't mean to name name him, but um, if somebody died, even in his family, how many days off would he get?
Usually, what based off of what I've seen with like my mom and dad, one maybe. 3, yeah.
3 paid days. And if you so that's something that my generation, and I hope the generation below me and your generation, I hope that you continue to fight that norm that it's 3 days paid. Um, because grief is, oh, I told you, grief's a whole different ballgame, whole different episode. So we're going to leave that where it's at. What I did want to talk about though is because you stated that you talked to your friends. How do you
Yes.
talk to your friends?
So if we are on break or something, usually that's when I do it, or like weekends after school. I don't like to talk about stuff at school because I don't want to have to cry in front of people. I don't like
Right?
I don't like that feeling.
Absolutely. And your mind is primed for school. It's
So
not primed for grief. Yeah.
I will do a respectable thing. I'll like text them if I can call them if they're free or whenever they're free. And if they
Okay.
say yes, I'll call them. They We might just talk a little bit, hang out. I might have someone to talk to. And I will eventually usually tell them what happened, what's wrong.
Okay. So how's the role of technology and how does that play into feelings?
For me, it helps a lot because if I'm not able to connect with the person right away that I need to be able to talk to or
Mhm.
want to be able to talk to,
Okay.
they are there.
Okay. Um, and so if you didn't have that technology, that would limit your way of expressing your feelings.
Probably, yes.
Okay. So that's a pro of having technology. So by technology, I mean a phone or a tablet or a computer, and now smartwatches, because you can call people from your watch. If you didn't have that kind of technology, that's a pro for that kind of technology, right?
Yes.
What's a con?
Con for the technologies is like just in general,
Yeah. Well, or what dealing with feelings.
dealing with feelings. If you're not like on FaceTime or something, you can never truly know if they're actually listening.
Oh, so it's that lack of being able to, like you and I right now, even though this
Yes.
is Zoom, you would be looking for my body language to match if I was listening or not.
Yes.
Okay.
And I
So
get it.
the
I zone off pretty easily, but I still listen and I know you see me and I answer your questions.
Yeah. And I think you're doing a fabulous job of that this podcast episode. I I love it. It's raw, it's real, right? Right. So, but I know that you are still listening, even though you're
Squirrel.
squirrel, shiny bright thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's another con to technology?
Like just in general or
It with feelings.
feelings. Mom always told me that whatever you post, people are always gonna be there. People are always gonna see it. They're gonna judge you on it. Some people are gonna be nice. Others will hate on it. They're gonna say stuff, and that won't change. That's why and whatever you post out there is there forever. So,
Right. So what was
um,
she talking about in terms of of people are gonna say what they're gonna say and they're gonna hate on it or they're gonna like it or they're gonna be supportive? How do you how do you or how should you or someone deal with that?
ignore the haters.
Okay. So
But if you
don't even reply back.
no,
Okay. So what does that feel like? What would you, if you read something, and I know that you have, if you've read something and they're a hater and we tell you to ignore them, you still have a feeling about what was written, right?
yes.
Okay. So name that, find something in your head. Don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, but find something in your head and put a feeling to it, put a name to it.
Um,
Got it? In your head?
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
put a name to it.
Like a feeling name or just like
A feeling name. Yeah.
feeling name. Uh, feeling name I would put to it would be maybe so upset mainly, but also I'd have I'd have a hard time not ignoring them in general. If you can't tell.
Yeah, even though that's what we say to do, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
It hurts and you want to say something back, but you know you shouldn't, but you still do. And that
Okay.
just conflicts it and it keeps going and going and going.
Okay. So you said hurt and conflict, and you want to strike back.
Yes, I do.
I didn't, you didn't say that word, but that's what I heard you say.
It's pretty much.
So, yeah. So if you label those, remember, if we're labeling those emotions and you say them out loud, the urges to strike back get smaller because you take your power back. So when you don't answer them,
It
whew,
takes.
you keep your power. It's right here. It's not going anywhere, even though you want to because it hurts. So nothing, nothing will take away that initial hurt um, until you get all the way to the other side where it doesn't hurt when they say things. So if people have I don't say bad. If people have negative comments about um, our podcast, how are you going to take that?
Uh I I try my best to brush it off. They're gonna always be there. They're gonna say things that they are gonna be judgmental. That might not change. It could, but it might not. And it's not. Oh, I can't talk.
Okay, so take a breath. It's fine. So can I can I say something and guess? And if it's wrong, you tell me?
Yes.
Okay. So um initially it would hurt, but because people are going to say what people are going to say, right?
Yes.
And so um if people say negative things about our podcast, is that more, does that have more weight or more importance than the message that we're trying to get out to people of being proactive and finding your voice? No. Okay. So which one wins out?
Ours, the pod.
Our mission for the podcast, right? Okay. So I think I think the very first podcast that we did, I welcomed negative feedback if because maybe sorry, that's my dog.
Constructive criticism,
Well, in a way,
in a way.
but in a way, but if bring on the negativity because that helps me find where we need to be more positive and get that positivity out there because it isn't just about Hayden and me or Hayden and I. Sorry, Mrs. Nichols. Um, it's not just about us, it is about the world, it is about young girls, it is about adult women, right? It's about all of us. And if there's a few haters that hate, I'm down with that. That doesn't bother me. Okay. Now, there might be some people that are going to be out there to do that just because they're going to say that I challenge them. Um, but, we'll deal with that. It is what it is. They're going to say what they're going to say, right? Okay. All right. Well, I think that that's it for today's episode on perspective and power. Remember, power doesn't come just from knowledge, but understanding each other.
We'll see you next time where experience meets energy. Until then, stay powerful and keep embracing new perspectives.
All right. Have a great week, folks.